I know most of you guys have been struggling for the visa slots in the last 2 years essentially. Today, we're going to be talking about the latest news update from the US consulates itself as to how they're trying to help you with this problem, with the slot issue, with rejections, with not getting a slot for 6 months after rejections, and people with no-shows not getting slots. All of these issues, they're trying to fix them. But are they? Let's see. All right. The one thing that is the news of today is that visa interviews, remember, last year we talked about this. Visa interviews, in-person visa interviews had been waived off until the end of 2022. That means for certain categories of people, not for everyone, certain categories of people, and we're going to tell you which categories these are, well, they did not have to go for the interview. They just had to do their biometrics and the document processing just happened over there. All right. Now, the news over here is that whatever that visa interview waiver scheme was, that had to end in 2022. It had to end at the end of 2022, but they have announced that they're not going to be ending it. They're going to be continuing it till 2023 so that they can make sure that the process is done faster and then less visa interviews in person have to take place, meaning that they will be able to somehow reduce the queue, make sure that people get more and more slots, right? So that's what's going on right over here, right? COVID hit them hard and they're trying to recover from that. But I think that they're a little bit too slow. For the most part, honestly, personally, I'm a little bit disappointed as well, because a lot of people who have invested their time, their money, their effort in this journey, they want to go to the US, and towards the end stage, they just get stopped simply because there's not enough visa slots. And I think that's really not fair. Anyway, how do these visa interview waivers work? Which kind of people are eligible? Well, mostly, bird's eye view, I can categorize them in two parts. Number one is if you're getting a same class renewal, essentially F visa to an F visa again, but your visa has been expired in the last 48 months or less. In that case, you can get a renewal. You can go directly for a Dropbox, essentially, which is called, right, interview waiver appointment. And that's what you will be going for in that case. So that's one type of waiver, same visa class to same visa class, F to F, J to J, H-1B to H-1B, similar, okay? The other one is transition visa, basically where you're transitioning from one class to the other. This is not allowed for every transition, by the way. You cannot just go from an F to a B visa, but B to an F visa is possible. So you can actually do that. If you had a B2 visa before and well, it's recently expired for the most part, but if it's still valid also, you can actually go ahead and get an interview waiver appointment for your F1 visa appointment now. I know it's not exactly crazy by this time, but last year it was, and I'm just trying to make sure that all of you guys are up to date. So why do they extend the policy? As I mentioned, they're trying to extend it so that their goal is that they have to hold less visa interviews in person. That means that they will be able to somehow expedite the queue that's been accumulating for quite some time now, and hence offer more and more visas. What does this interview waiver process mean? What does it mean? Do you not have to appear for the interview, or what is it? Well, look, you will still need the slot. You will still need at least one slot, and that is the VAC, the biometric slot. As always, this is a Dropbox slot. Also, you can call it a Dropbox slot. And basically what happens is you go to the VAC center, you submit your biometrics and your documentation, both at the same VAC center. Not to mention your passport is one of those documents. Finally, that is it. If you do qualify for an interview waiver, your visa will be approved right then and there without an interview. And of course, they'll return your passport in some time, but yeah, that's generally what happens. Now, which visa classes do these interview waivers apply to? Let's talk about that briefly, shall we? First, student visas. That's basically F and M visas. I know some of you may be wondering about the J class. Unfortunately, J classes have not been included in this scheme as far as I remember as of now. Work visas. H-1B, H-2, H-3 and L visas. L basically means everything. L-1, L-2, A, B, all of those, and even the blanket cases. Okay. Finally, other visa types such as the O, P and Q. These are extraordinary visas, do not apply to everyone and are very, very specific. Either way, you can read more about them online. So these are the visas that have been included. Remember, I did not mention H-4 visa, so that means that your spouse is probably not going to be able to actually use that. Or it doesn't apply to everyone, but it does apply to certain classes. Now, these are the classes that we're going to be targeting in the year 2023 for interview waivers or drop boxes. And otherwise, in most cases, if you're not eligible, you have to still appear for the interview. It's not for everyone. All right. I hope that this helps you understand that. Now, if you would like, you can actually go ahead, take a look at the visa application help service on YMGrad.com, where we can actually make sure that you get your visa as quickly as possible. Not just the slot booking, but also having a mock interview with you, basically training you again and again until you're perfect, and then basically helping you get the visa stamped. Until that is stamped, basically, the service does not end. If you're interested in something like that, you can always take a look. You can reach out to me on my WhatsApp. The number is in the description. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more such helpful updates. And if you want regular updates regarding these visas, please make sure to follow us on Instagram. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care until next time.